I'd like to welcome you in today's Malawi Crime Podcast. Today we have Inspector Paul Tembo from Zuzu Police Station. You are most welcome to today's program, sir.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Today we are going to discuss the topic of rape. You know, rape, it's a general term. And even the public, even the listener, they don't even know what rape is all about. So in today's program, we focus much on rape. So before I proceed, what is rape?
Rape has got a clear definition in law, but as a law enforcer, I can give you directions that gives to the definition that is subscribed in the law. Rape is basically forced conjugal relationship with a partner who has not given consent to have the conjugal relationship with another person. So, in short, that is what we call rape. If a male person forces a female to have a conjugal relationship, to sleep together, that is rape.
Okay, what is the difference between rape and defilement?
Basically, they are kind of the same in terms of the mode, but defilement, although these days we have changed the law, we don't have defilement anymore. The law was changed in Parliament. Now we call having sexual intercourse with a minor, which was then used to be defilement. But the defining moment, the defining line is the age limit. Defilement, like you have said, which is no longer being used in the law, currently we call it having sexual intercourse with a minor, but previously it used to be defilement, which the law bars any person to have sexual intercourse with a minor below the age of 16. So any person who does that have sexual intercourse with a girl, a minor child under the age of 16 is defined as having sexual intercourse with a minor, which in the law says it is a rape on its own, but because it's a minor, it's what you have rightly said used to be called defilement. So defilement, to make another difference, is that the defilement has got no consent. Whether the minor consented or didn't consent, that doesn't matter. The law doesn't give a minor capability to make an independent decision. So a minor below 16, whether consenting or without consent, in a way it is rape. But because it's a minor, it's what is called, like you rightly said, defilement. But in law these days, we call it having sexual intercourse with a minor.
Wow, thank you very much. Why rape is an offense?
Rape is an offense because of the freedoms and rights that each and every person has. The law gives freedoms of all sorts of freedoms, including freedom to give free will to have sexual intercourse with another person. So if a person uses crooked means to have sexual intercourse with another, crooked means are in several forms. Could be by force, at gunpoint, forcing somebody to give you sexual pleasure, to give you sex. That's another force. Another force would be pretense, promising something which could not be directly given. For example, if you are a senior person in an environment, and then there is a young girl who is within, an adult, of course, but is seeking favors from the boss. If that girl gives sexual pleasure to the boss, that is also categorized as rape. Rape can also be when a person is seeking financial support from another person on condition that only that they sleep together. That, when found, can also be categorized as rape. So, in other words, there are different forms of when somebody can force somebody to give in for sex. The very clear one is the first one. You force someone, you take off the clothes, and you force yourself into that person. That is a very clear, direct one. But there are also other circumstances which may occur within different environments, willfully, but at the end of the day, when found, they may also be categorized as rape.
Okay, is there any elements of rape case?
What do you mean by elements?
Or the factors to consider when someone is committing the offense of rape?
Yes, they are. There are points to prove whether rape took place or not. That's what you mean, right?
Yes.
They are. The most clear one, like I've said, the most common rape that we talk about is the forced rape. So there are factors that the investigators look into, whether there was a form of force that took place for them to secure the conjugal rights, for them to secure the sexual intercourse. So number one is look at marks that may have indicated that force was used to procure sexual intercourse. So that's number one. Number two, deceit. If there are any forms of deceit that may have been involved in the discussion to procure the sexual desires, that could be another point to rape. Another point is superiority. If somebody is in authority below another person who is giving in for sex, that could be another indicator that that procurement was not willfully given by this woman who gave in for sex. So these are some of the things that I can quickly remember as points to prove whether rape took place or not. And then finally, the other pointers could be marks of violence during the encounter. If you check the private parts of a female, obviously during the normal circumstances, you couldn't find certain things that you could see. In some instances, we have seen blood, which means there was severe force when the things were happening. So to some extent, by chance, you find the release from the man are found in the genitals of a female. So those could all be added together to make some of the points to prove rape. So if you prove 1 or 2 points from that one, then you are able to secure a conviction in the court of law.
Well, thank you very much. But what is the difference between a sexual assault and rape itself?
Rape is a form of sexual assault. So they are basically the same things. It's just a matter that rape is aggravated sexual assault, because other sexual assaults are not that aggravated to the extent that somebody is hugely damaged. Sexual assault, anybody attacking anybody in the private parts could be a form of sexual assault. Sexual assault could also be verbal of another person about their sexual private parts. So rape is an example of sexual assault, only that rape is an aggravated form of sexual assault. So basically they are the same, but they differ in degrees and the type. Rape is very specific that this is rape. Sexual assault, there are several kinds of sexual assault. Some of them not huge as in rape.
So can rape be done in marriage, and how?
These days, yes. The law these days provides for consent for everything. There is what we call marital rape. If a man married in his house, in his bedroom with his wife, forces himself to sleep with his wife when the wife is not willing, it may also be considered rape, though it is not common in our setting because of our culture and other environments, but it's there in the books of law that there are what we call marital rape. Yes, so in short, yes, it is possible to rape your wife in your house, in your bedroom. It is true, it is possible.
Factors to the elements to prove the rape that is normally be done on the marriage issues. Is there any factor to prove since it's a marriage issue?
The key issue is consent. If the wife is not willing to have sex, and then you force yourself to have sex, that's the main one. Because the rest of the factors, you are already married, you are supposed to be doing those things, but then each one of you has to give in a free will to conduct or to do sex. So if the other party is not willing and the other party is forced, then it may be there.
Okay. Can men be the victims of rape cases, and how?
Pardon?
Can men be the victims of rape cases, and how?
Unfortunately, it hasn't been to my knowledge, but I don't think so. However, we have seen women forcing boys to have sex with them, so it is not considered a rape as such. But to answer in a very clear terms, it is possible, but not very common in our setting. If you look at the other, I'll give you several examples of rape, right? So one of the examples, for example, a senior boss is forcing a younger person to have sex so that maybe they can be promoted. If that can be proved to be seen that this female senior person at work is having sex with the young boy at work on the promise that they may be promoted later, it means this boy didn't willfully did the sexual intercourse with this senior female. That could be categorized as rape. But like I said, in our normal Malayan settings, we haven't had those situations. However, we have had situations where elder women having sexual encounters with the younger ones. But then there is a different offense that is committed, a different crime that is committed not necessarily rape.
Wow, thank you very much for such wonderful explanation. But I would like to know if a suspect has been apprehended and he or she has been taken to court to answer the case of rape, what can be the penalties for rape cases?
Rape is what we call a felony. It's a serious offense. And depending on the circumstances, aggravating factors that may have resulted to rape take place, the convict must be convicted to a minimum of 7 years, because I've told you it is a felony. So the minimum is 7 years. The years goes back depending on the discretion of the magistrate and also the aggravating factors of the case. And finally, the level of the magistrates. As you may be aware, magistrates have got different levels of penalties that they can make on a victim, on a suspect. So the minimum for a felony of rape is 7 years. Then the years goes beyond, some even more than 20 years, depending on the aggravating factors and the seniority of the magistrate handling the matter.
Wow, thank you very much. But how rampant are such cases in Zuzu?
Pardon?
How rampant are such cases in Zuzu?
I don't have statistics currently, but they are there. If you had given me time, I could have provided for you the statistics from Zuzu and the areas around where we are staying. But I don't have the statistics as of now. But the fact for sure is that we have seen several rape cases taking place and going to court.
So is there any mechanism that you have put in place to curb such type of malpractices of the rape cases in the district?
Yes, I've seen the police having different initiatives towards the same. One of which now I think they are doing what they call mobile court. They're taking the suspects in their villages where they committed those crimes, and the people around the village saw how the case goes until the victim is convicted. So that is a deterrent enough, because people see the law taking its course. They literally see somebody being convicted and going to court. I've also seen the police doing community awareness in the communities. Usually the police have different meetings for different programs, where they're training community policing members, where they're just meeting community leaders on development. So the police always takes advantage to talk about different other security issues, including issues too about rape. So they take advantage of the current forums already taking place, but they also organize their own meetings. Additionally, they also have radio programs, with different radio programs, where they talk about security issues, security tips, including crimes that may occur within our settings, including rape.
Wow, thank you very much. Maybe there's some other people around in this Malawi, around this country of Malawi. They are facing such type of offenses. They're being raped maybe with their bosses at their working place, but they are afraid even to report such cases to police. Is there an advice that you can maybe give to them?
The biggest advice is one of the first step to take when somebody has been a victim of rape is to have somebody that you can trust. So there should always be somebody that you can trust, either your colleague at work or another senior person, apart from the one who is perpetrating the crime. You can also even go to village elders within the settings. If it's in the towns, you can go to block leaders that you can confide in. And better still, you can go to police and go to victim support units. These are officers, and they are trained to keep secrets. They will not be mentioned. Police will come, they do their investigation. At the end of the day, the culprit will be caught and then taken to court.
So any warning to the perpetrators of rape cases?
No, the paramount thing is rape is a crime in Malawi, and a felony for that matter. So once caught, you have to face the law and then be a victim of yourself. You also victimize your relatives, you victimize your family if you're a married person. So you make disturbance to the whole setup of your relations when you are arrested and convicted of a crime which you can avoid. Most important thing is rape is very, very, very avoidable. So let's take heed. People should know that this is a crime. Once found, they can be arrested, convicted by the court of law.
Wow, thank you very much for such a wonderful moment that we had, and I'm not taking this opportunity for granted. Indeed, it has been a wonderful session. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your time as well.
Thank you.